So that was like we learned the Maharaj to be this is good program. Maharaj will give you a class. After the class, we will do Arati, and then afternoon we will have the class.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Giridharidhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Giridharidhari Ashoda Nandana Braja Jana Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ramana Tera Vanachari Ramana Tera Vanachari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Lord Premanande Hari Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Bhagavate Vasudevaya So we're going to go through some points in relation to the Bhagavad Gita here. Bhagavad Gita, first chapter, first section. So Srila Prabhupada's introduction, Prabhupada includes at the end of the introduction the Gita Mahatmya. The Gita Mahatmya verses. Gita Mahatmya means the glorification of the Bhagavad Gita, the benefit of the Bhagavad Gita. So it's traditional in reciting Bhagavad Gita that before we recite the Bhagavad Gita, we first of all read the Gita Mahatmya. So it's there in Prabhupada's purports also. Here you can see the meaning. Huh? No, it's okay. One may cleanse himself daily by taking a bath in water. But if one takes a bath even once in the sacred Ganges water of Bhagavad Gita, for him the dirt of material life is altogether vanquished. So this is the power of the Bhagavad Gita. If you bathe in the Bhagavad Gita even once, the Bhagavad Gita can cleanse us of the dirt of material life. The material world is a dirty place. Srila Sindhu, are you translating? Alright, so here's some more verses of the Gita Mahatmya. One need only attentively and regularly hear and read Bhagavad Gita. One need not read any other Vedic literature because it is spoken by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Bhagavad Gita is the essence of all Vedic literature. So Srila Prabhupada is stressing the importance of the Bhagavad Gita over all other books. Srila Prabhupada was very anxious to publish the Bhagavad Gita. And we see of all the books which we distribute, it's the Bhagavad Gita which is the main seller. For the BBT, it's the main book. No other book sells as much as the Bhagavad Gita. It's very well known and it's very much popular with people all over the world. And I saw in different countries, like one country I go to, Taiwan. Taiwan's a Chinese-speaking country. And when I first went there, like more than 30 years ago, very rare people knew Bhagavad Gita. But now there's so many editions of the Bhagavad Gita. So many different yoga teachers and different groups. They've all got Bhagavad Gita. They all know the Bhagavad Gita. And they have their own editions and their own interpretations of Bhagavad Gita. So this is the problem, that there are many different people presenting Bhagavad Gita, and they don't all present it. Huh?
I think there's a lot of echo in the time here. I think the mic is. Sorry about that.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So we were saying that there are many different editions of the Bhagavad Gita, and of course they're not authorized, they don't have their parampara, they're not presented through the disciplic succession. So you can see the difference, that when the book is authorized, the result is that people become devotees. Other books, other people write Bhagavad Gita and nobody becomes a devotee. People may read the Bhagavad Gita of other people, but it doesn't change them. It doesn't help them to take up spiritual life. But actually Bhagavad Gita is meant for bringing us into spiritual life. It's meant to help us to begin the path of self-realization. Srila Prabhupada instructed one sannyasi in London in Srila Prabhupada's time. Prabhupada told him, he said, I want you to go through this person's Bhagavad Gita and point out all the mistakes and write to him and point out every mistake which he has made in presenting the Bhagavad Gita. So many different editions of Bhagavad Gita, but they just confuse people. Srila Prabhupada therefore called his Bhagavad Gita as it is. He presented it through the disciplic succession, and he presented it with the commentaries of the acharyas, and the result is many people became devotees and took up Krishna consciousness. So this Gita Upanishad, which is another name for the Bhagavad Gita, the essence of all the Upanishads is just like a cow, and Lord Krishna, who is famous as a cowherd boy, is milking this cow. Arjuna is just like a calf, and learned scholars and pure devotees like to drink the nectarian milk of Bhagavad Gita. So you can see the nice example which is given here. It said that this Bhagavad Gita is just like a cow. Lord Krishna is a cowherd boy, and he is milking the cow. And Arjuna is the calf. He is enjoying the milk. So this is a nice verse, famous verse. Sarvopanishad Nirman Prabho Dogda Gopala Nandana Parthavatsa Sudhir Bhakta Ditam Gitam Ritam Mahat. So the Bhagavad Gita, the essence of the Vedas. In this way, Srila Prabhupada glorifies the Bhagavad Gita. Alright, so Srila Prabhupada writes in his introduction to the Bhagavad Gita, he says, our only purpose is to present this Bhagavad Gita as it is, in order to guide the conditioned student to the same purpose for which Krishna consciousness, to the same purpose for which Krishna consciousness to this planet since in a day of Brahma. So the purpose is to guide people to Krishna consciousness, conditioned souls. Srila Prabhupada is presenting his commentary on this Bhagavad Gita for the purpose. Instead of satisfying his own personal material senses. He has to satisfy the senses of the Lord. This is the highest perfection of life. The Lord wants this, and He demands it. One has to understand this central point of Bhagavad Gita. Our Krishna consciousness movement is teaching the whole world this center point. So Srila Prabhupada is describing his purpose in writing this Bhagavad Gita, that he wants to bring everyone to Krishna consciousness. He wants everyone to understand the real mission of Lord Krishna. Srila Prabhupada also writes, he says, to help students understand and appreciate the mood and mission of Srila Prabhupada, and to perpetuate that understanding within the ISKCON society. So when we study the Bhagavad Gita, we encourage the students to appreciate the mood and mission which Srila Prabhupada had in presenting the Bhagavad Gita. And mood and mission is described here. That Srila Prabhupada's mood and mission was, so he wants to make sure Krishna consciousness will remain there, that people will get eternal benefit from this knowledge. Prabhupada didn't want to just only give some temporary benefit for people. He wanted to change their lives, that once they come to Krishna consciousness, they will never give it up and go back again to the material life. So this was Srila Prabhupada's mood and mission. And Srila Prabhupada said, if even one person would become a devotee, then he would consider his mission successful. Srila Prabhupada did not mind. He did not expect the whole world to become devotees, but he thought if even one person can become a devotee, that would be very nice. So the first chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, actually all the 18 chapters of the Bhagavad Gita are called different kinds of yoga. Just like the third chapter is Karma Yoga, and the 6th chapter is Dhyana Yoga. Each and every one of the 18 chapters is a different kind of yoga. And the first chapter is called Vishada Yoga. Right? The name of this chapter, Vishada. Knowledge that is manufactured by considering one's body as a self is called Vishada Yoga. Right? Knowledge that is manifested by considering one's body as the self meaning the soul, that is called Vishada Yoga. When a conditioned soul considers the body as the self, then he thinks Deha Dharma, Jati Dharma, Kula Dharma, Arya Dharma, etc. As we think of them as Sanatana, meaning eternal religious principles. And he becomes puzzled by lamentation, illusion, fearfulness. So we're explaining here what is this Vishada Yoga. That is the illusion to think I am the body, this is a big illusion. We're all very attached to the material body. So in the first chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna is describing, Lord Krishna is not actually speaking in the first chapter. We will hear it's more Duryodhana. The first verse is Dhritarashtra inquiring from Sanjay, and then they're talking about what's going on the battlefield. So they're explaining about Vishada Yoga, the attachment to the body. So here you can see the first verse of the Bhagavad Gita, very famous verse, right? You can chant with me, Dharma Kshetre Kurukshetre Samavedaya Yutsava Mamaka Pandavaschaiva Kimma Kurvata Sanjaya. Right? So Dharma Kshetra, Kurukshetra. Kurukshetra is a place. We can go there. It's not very far away from New Delhi. It's a much smaller place today than it was in the past. 5,000 years ago it was a very big place. But today it's not very big. But still, it's a holy place. People go there even today, as they did 5,000 years ago. Lord Krishna came to Kurukshetra, not just once, not just for the Bhagavad Gita and the Kurukshetra war. Lord Krishna came there, he had come there before the battle of Kurukshetra. He had come there on pilgrimage. There was an eclipse, and at that time Krishna came to Kurukshetra with all of his wives from Dwarka. They all came to Kurukshetra. And at that time, all of the gopis came from Vrindavan. So Kurukshetra was the only place outside of Vrindavan where Lord Krishna met with Srimati Radharani and the gopis. But Kurukshetra is Dharma Kshetra. It's a place for religious activities. Lord Krishna had come there to perform sacrifice when there was the eclipse. But here in the Bhagavad Gita, they have come to go to battle. And the battle is meant to be fought according to religious principles. It's meant to be a dharma yudh, a battle fought according to the principles, according to the codes by which the Kshatriya fight. So they began like that, but in the course of the battle, things deteriorated, and they did not follow. After some time, because the situation became too much, too intense, and they did not follow exactly. So there you can see the translation of the first verse. Dhritarashtra is speaking, and he's addressing his secretary Sanjay. And he's saying, after my sons and the sons of Pandu assembled in the place of pilgrimage at Kurukshetra, desiring to fight, what did they do? So Dhritarashtra was anxious that there should be a war. He did not want that his sons would avoid the battle. He wanted there should be a battle. But Dhritarashtra shows how much he is in the bodily concept of life. As we said, this chapter is Vishada Yoga. They're in the bodily concept. Dhritarashtra has separated his sons and the sons of Pandu. He says, what did my sons and the sons of Pandu? Now Dhritarashtra is actually, he's meant to be taking care of the Pandavas. He's supposed to be the stepfather. He's supposed to be taking care. His brother was Pandu, and Pandu had died while his children, the Pandavas, were very young. And Dhritarashtra was supposed to take care of them. But he's in the bodily concept of life. He's only thinking about his children. He's not thinking about the sons of Pandu as his children. He should be thinking that the sons of Pandu are also my children. But he's not. He's only thinking about his own sons. So he has put this question showing his ignorance, how much he's in the bodily consciousness. Right? So Dharma Shikshra, a religious field. So Prabhupada explained, he said, just like in the rice field, they will grow paddy and there will be unnecessary weeds and plants. You have to pull them out. So Prabhupada said, in the same way, in the religious field of Kurukshetra, unwanted plants like Dhritarashtra's son have to be removed, they have to be wiped out, pull out the weeds. So this of course is going to happen in the course of the Kurukshetra war. So in the first chapter, it's very interesting to see how the different sides are speaking. On the one side you have Duryodhana, and he has to speak to his army, and he's the leader of his army, and he wants to encourage them to fight. So Duryodhana is the oldest son of Dhritarashtra, and he's speaking to his great generals. He has great generals like Bhishma and Drona. Right? Drona. Now, who should he speak to first? Should he speak first to Bhishma or should he speak to Drona? They are both Maharathis. They are both great souls. Now, who should he speak to first? Bhishma? Bhishma is senior by age. He's the grandfather. So he's senior by age. But Drona is a Brahmana. Bhishma is a Kshatriya. So the Brahmana's position is higher than the Kshatriya. So in this way, Duryodhana shows his diplomacy. He speaks first to Drona, because Drona is a Brahmana. So he thinks I should give more importance to the Brahmana than to the Kshatriya. So he addresses Drona, and he says to him, "Oh my teacher." Drona is Drona Acharya. Acharya means one who teaches by his example. So Drona was the teacher of Duryodhana, and all of the brothers of Duryodhana, the Kurus, they were all the students of Drona. And the Pandavas were also the students of Drona. But somehow Drona was obliged to fight against the Pandavas. So Drona says to Duryodhana says to Drona, he said, "O my teacher, behold the great army of the sons of Pandu, so expertly arranged by your intelligent disciple, the son of Drupada." So Duryodhana is pointing out about a disciple of Drona. Drona had many disciples, right? He was teaching military arts. He was actually a spiritual person. He was a great soul, but he was obliged to take up teaching military arts. He knew how to fight with all different weapons. So he came and he taught the sons of Dhritarashtra, and he also taught the Pandavas. But he also taught another person. He taught this person named, who knows the name? Who was it? The son of Drupada. The son of Drupada, Drishtadyumna, yes, Drishtadyumna. Drishtadyumna was the son of Drupada. Of course, Drishtadyumna also has a sister. What's the name of his sister? Draupadi. And they were both born from the fire. They were not ordinary souls. They were born from the yagya. Drona did Drupada did a yagya to get somebody who would kill Drona. Because Drupada was not able to defeat Drona. So he did a yagya. He wants a son who will kill Drona for him. So Drishtadyumna was born for this purpose. Now Drishtadyumna was also a student of Drona. So Duryodhana is saying, just look, the intelligent disciple, your disciple, he's arranged the army, and they're on the other side. So Drona's fighting on one side, and on the other side is this student. The student Abhimanyu, along with the Pandavas. So they're on different sides. So Duryodhana knew that this boy Abhimanyu, he is born to kill Drona. So he is warning Drona. Drishtadyumna, not Abhimanyu. Drishtadyumna was born to kill Drona. So Duryodhana is warning Drupada. Look, that man, he's on the other side. He's going to kill you. You have to be very careful. If you know someone is born to kill you, then you will have to be very careful in dealing with them. It can be a problem. So Drishtadyumna was that person. And he was a student of Drona. He had learned from Drona. The teacher taught the student, but the student, he's going to kill the teacher in the future. So just understand how kind Drona was. He was a real Brahmana. He was a real Brahmana because he taught Drishtadyumna. Although Drishtadyumna is going to kill him, but still he thought, no, I'm a Brahmana. I should teach him. That is the nature of a real Brahmana. That they will not consider what benefit they will get. They think only that I'm a Brahmana, it's my duty to give knowledge, to give education, to teach others. Right? This should be the mode of devotees. Devotees should have that mode that we want to give knowledge to others. We tell people about Lord Krishna. That's very important for us. We don't think, what will I get? What are you going to give me? We think only, what can I give to others? What do I have to give them? So Drona was like that. Even though this man Drishtadyumna is going to kill him, he didn't care. He took him, yes, you can be my student. I will take you as a student. So devotees, we also want to have that kind of mood in being Krishna conscious. The mood to give our knowledge, whatever we know, to share it with others. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught that there was one Brahmana, he wanted to leave his home and go with Lord Chaitanya. But this Brahmana had a family. He had a wife and children, he had a home. And Lord Chaitanya had come to his home, and the Brahmana had given him food, and then Lord Chaitanya was going, and then when Lord Chaitanya was leaving, then the Brahmana fell at Lord Chaitanya's feet and said, "Oh, please take me with you. I can no longer tolerate the material life. This material world is so miserable place. I want to go with you." But Lord Chaitanya rejected him. He chastised him. He said, "No, don't speak like that. That is not proper." He said, "You should stay here." But Lord Chaitanya told him, the words which Lord Chaitanya said are very famous. Yari teki tari kaho Krishna upadesh, amara gaya gurohana tara iridesh. In other words, Lord Chaitanya told the Brahmana, wherever you go and whoever you meet, you tell them about Krishna Upadesh, the teachings of Lord Krishna. And Lord Chaitanya said, Amar Agaya Guruhana, said, by my order, become a teacher and save the land. By my order, become a teacher and save the world. Telling them the message of Lord Krishna. So this is a very important example. The mood which Drona had there in the Bhagavad Gita. And the mood which Lord Chaitanya gave to the Brahmana and Kurma, that he's telling them, give that knowledge, share that knowledge, whatever you know, distribute it. Don't keep it for yourself. You may say, well, I don't know very much. I'm a very new devotee. How can I tell anyone about Krishna? But you don't need to know very much. Whatever you do know, you need to use it. That is important. You need to use what you know. Just like you know you're not the body. you know you're the soul, and you know Krishna's God, Krishna's the Supreme Lord. So you simply tell these things. You simply explain your position, that Krishna is the Lord and we are all His servants. He is the Master and we are all His servants. And in this way, by explaining these basic points, then your knowledge is perfect and your teaching is perfect. You don't have to know a lot, but whatever you do know, share it with others. That is very important for us. Right? So this example of Drona is very good. Prabhupada explains. Dronacharya knows that Drupad Maharaj has got his son in future. In future he would kill me. Still, when he was offered to become his disciple, to learn military art, he accepted. Yes, that means the Brahmana was so liberal. When he is coming as my disciple, never mind. He would kill me in the future. That doesn't matter. But I must give him teaching. So Srila Prabhupada explained this also, you see. The liberal nature of a Brahmana. We are trying to cultivate also this Brahmanical nature. The stage of a Brahmana is preliminary to becoming Vaishnava. We want to become Vaishnava, first we have to become Brahmana. Then we can go on and become Vaishnava. So Brahmana should be like that, very liberal, very generous. Even you give whatever we have to others. You can see that liberal nature in the Srimad Bhagavatam. The example is there about King Indra. He wanted to kill one big asura named Vritasura. So King Indra, he approached the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Narayan. And he prayed to Lord Narayan. And he asked Lord Narayan, please kill this demon for us. But Lord Narayan said, no, I'm not going to kill him. You want to kill him? You kill him yourself. Lord Narayan said, I'm not going to do this for you. You have to do it yourself. But he said, I will tell you how you can do it, because Indra was puzzled. He didn't know how he could ever defeat such a powerful person as Vritasura. So the Lord told him, you go to Dadichi. There's this great yogi called Dadichi, and ask him to give the bones from his body. And you can use the bones from his body to make a weapon. And with that weapon you can kill Vritasura. So Indra went to Dadichi. Dadichi was a renowned sage. He was living in Naimisharanya. And Indra came to Dadichi and he asked him, my dear great sage Dadichi, can you give me the bones from your body? So Dadichi said to him, don't you know the body is the thing we're most attached to? Right? you're very attached to the body, spend a lot of time taking care of the body, spend time, anything wrong with the body, we take care of it, we go to doctors, we go to hospital, we'll go so many places to take care of the body. So, Dadichi, he was a great yogi, he was very charitable, and he just wanted to hear philosophy from Indra. So he was telling him, you know, to give up the body is very difficult. We're very attached to the body. So Indra then said to Dadichi, he said, you know, I know sometimes it's difficult to give charity, but you should know also it's difficult to ask for charity. Right? To give charity, sometimes we don't have anything to give. People may come and ask for charity. You don't have any money, you don't have any wealth to give them charity. You would like to give, but you don't have anything. So sometimes it's difficult to give charity. But Indra was saying, it's also difficult to ask for charity. To ask people give charity. Not a very easy thing to do. So Dadichi said, yes, it's true. Very nice. So Dadichi gave up his body. He performed meditation and he went out of the body, and Indra took the bones and he made the weapon, and he was able to kill Gita. So that this is the Brahmanical nature, to give. We want to develop that mood, the generous mood, to give knowledge. Just like when we do Harinam Sankirtan, we are giving the holy name. We give the holy name to others. So we have to understand the importance of developing the Brahmanical culture. Alright? So you can see in the very beginning of the Bhagavad Gita, the mood of Bhagavad Gita. Okay, so 我们讲到波吉曼哥开始讲波罗曼的品质，一个真正的波罗曼，他一定要想帮助其他的人，他没有想自己的好处，他想帮助其他的人。 愿意放弃一切，为了帮助其他的人。所以在波吉曼哥他们讲到 Drona 有一个门徒，这个门徒他的名字是 Drishtadyumna， 他是 Maharaj Drupada 的儿子，Drupadi 的兄弟。 所以Drishtadyumna他出生，他的父亲做一个祭司，为了得到一个孩子，那个孩子有能力可以杀Drona， 因为Drona是他的敌人，所以他希望他的儿子杀Drona， 于是Drona接受。 那个孩子做他的门徒，他也教他用很多武器。因为Drona是他的老师，他接受这样的门徒，他没有想这个孩子以后有杀我，但是想我是一个婆罗门，我可以教他，我应该给他教育。所以他接受他做他的门徒。我们也讲到达地奇也是一个婆罗门，他给他的姑姑为了给Indra喜欢有一个武器可以杀恶魔。So the first chapter is like that. It's explaining these different issues, the political situation. On one side, you have Duryodhana speaking to encourage his soldiers. But on the other side, you can see that the Pandavas have many things in their favor. And that some of these different things are mentioned, things in their favor. The celestial weapons. Arjuna had been given many different weapons. And Bhima had made terrible vows that how he was going to kill all the sons of Dhritarashtra. And he vowed that he would rip out the heart of Dushasana, and he would take the blood and wash the hair of Draupadi, like that. And then we're told that they're all Maharajas, they're great fighters, they can fight with 10,000 people at a time. So Duryodhana is speaking, encouraging different people, and he mentions the different names, different people. He has to be respectful to different people. You can see he mentions first Drona, and then Bhishma, and then Karna, like that, according to their position in society. So in the beginning of the Bhagavad Gita, many different names are mentioned, names of the great warriors. So Prabhupada explained, he said, some people may ask that by mentioning these great fighters, what spiritual progress we made? So, because we are meant for chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, we're meant for chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So by chanting the names of these great fighters, what do we gain? The answer, this question may be raised there, so the answer is given. But the thing is that Nirbandha Krishna Sambandhe, wherever there is connection with Krishna, that also becomes Krishna. So these warriors mentioning we should not neglect Krishna. We should not neglect. Krishna wanted to gather all the demonic power in that battlefield of Kurukshetra and killed them. That was his plan. So Krishna had arranged the battle of Kurukshetra. Although they tried to avoid it, Krishna had to arrange that it took place. And his purpose, of course, was to relieve the earth of the burden of so many demoniac kings. If you read the Srimad Bhagavatam, It describes how Mother Bhumi had gone to Lord Brahma with tears in her eyes complaining about the situation. That she said the planet is overburdened with so many demoniac kings. So she came to Lord Brahma for help. So Lord Brahma then meditated to Lord Vishnu. He meditated to Lord Vishnu in Swetatweep. And Lord Vishnu replied to Lord Brahma that I am going to come there and I will take birth in the Yadu dynasty. And all of you also, you should take birth there. And in this way, the different warriors, the Yadu dynasty, they all appeared. And so many different demigods, people from the spiritual world, they all came to be with Lord Krishna, to take part in his pastimes and to see the wonder. So Lord Krishna's purpose in coming there was to relieve the earth of the burden of so many demoniac kings. And he brought them all together at one point, the battle of Kurukshetra, and they could all kill each other. So in this way everything was finished in 18 days. The battle of Kurukshetra was 18 days, and Lord Krishna arranged everything. Get rid of all the demon kings, 18 days is all finished, all removed. So this is Lord Krishna with his plan, his mission. He fulfilled the prayers of Bhumi. Mother Bhumi, the deity of earth, was praying. So Lord Krishna came and he arranged to remove the burden of all the demoniac kings. So in this way, the mission was accomplished. Alright? Sorry. Yodarin Weshaman Kaman Bojaman Di Jam Jamdam Namador Ren the Mingsa and to Shadi Shantriya Kaman the Mingsa Prabhupada Pashua Kaman the Mingsa Yeshikan Krishna Yogwansi. So this is Yeshikan Krishna Yogwansi Yeshithauda Shadingsa. And Krishna Anpai, the Jancham, Dosha Krishna Anpai. Anyway, the Sinchio, the Ermon Haidoa, Bhumi, Sinchio, the Shansham, Chidao, Ju Brahma, Bamjuta, anyway, come the Ermon Haidoa, come so Haidoa, 300 Sinchin, Doi Jiga Sinchio Buhao. So he touched down Ju Brahma Banjuta, and Ju Brahma touched down Ju Vishnu Banjutaman. So Vishnu Gautataman, even though thou Yadu the one shall planet and Chushan, Roy were Royalai, me take the Moichi, woman sang that then, and five, not the decision. Me take the Moichi. 上下我的逍遥时光在这个星期啊，所以很多完全人来到，还有一些人从灵性世界下来的，也跟 Krishna 一起参加 Krishna 的逍遥时光，所以 Krishna 安排战场。 很多摩萨了，在18天，这个问题都解决，只需要18天 ，Krishna 安排。Alright, are there any questions?
Yeah. I heard that when we read Bhagavad Gita, so Maharaj mentioned the mood and mission of Prabhupada. So sometimes we also encourage to read Bhagavad Gita written by Vishwanath Thakur and also like Ramacharya also written Bhagavad Gita. Is it when we read that books, that Bhagavad Gita, our mood will change, or is it all the same direction?
Yes. The books written by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Baladeva Vidyabhusan, they are also bona fide books, provided the translation is done by a devotee. Because they wrote their commentaries in Sanskrit. So somebody, you have to have a qualified translator, somebody qualified to present the book. So if you have an authorized version by a devotee, then you can read also their books. Generally, Prabhupada followed Baladeva Vidyabhusan, and he would put a lot of the commentary of Baladeva Vidyabhusan in our Bhagavad Gita. Not everything, but a lot of it is coming from Baladeva Vidyabhusan, and sometimes also from Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. But there may be other things which you can find, which Prabhupada didn't include. Generally, Prabhupada told us, he said, everything is in my books. You just simply study my books, you get everything. But if you've already gone through Prabhupada's books, and you're familiar with them, and you study them carefully, then if you want, then you can go on and study the books by the other acharyas. So, Prabhu讲到啊，我们的奉献者，我们可以看其他的人的书，除了 Prabhupada 书以外，我们可以看其他的 Acharya 的书。所以，如果你已经学会 Prabhupada 的书，你可以看其他的 Acharya 的书。可是你一定要先看 Prabhupada 的书，因为 Prabhupada 说。你所有需要的东西都在我的书里面。可是，如果你已经花了很多时间学习 Prabhupada 的书，你还想多看书，你可以看其他的 Acharya 的书。Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Baladeva Vidyabhusan, 他们都写了我这本歌，你可以看他们的书。Are you into any other questions? Yes.
对，就是国家梵歌第1章，因为有很多人的名字很长很复杂。我们把书派给非奉献者的时候，他们会觉得看这个。我们把书派给非奉献者的时候，他们会翻到第1章的时候就没有耐心，就觉得这跟我有关系吗？这好像跟我没有关系，因为我看到很累，没有感觉。有的人就因此而就不看了，所以我们会建议这样的人呢，说你先跳过第1章，从第2章或者是你感兴趣的那一章开始。我想请问一下 Gurudev， 这个建议恰当吗？还是必须从第1章开始？
我觉得你说的对。Yeah.
可以。
Now she's asking about the first chapter, you know, when it's put into Chinese, the different names of the so many different Kshatriya warriors. So when you put them into Chinese, it's very difficult for Chinese people to read these names, you know. So, you know, like Govinda becomes Gawanda. Krishna, you know, they're not familiar names to Chinese people. So we want Chinese people to be able to read the Bhagavad Gita. So she's saying that she recommends them, don't worry too much about the first chapter, you can begin in the second chapter. So I told her, yeah, that's probably a good idea. Because these names are difficult, they're not Chinese names. We try to transput the Sanskrit names into Chinese writing, then it's very difficult for people to read. So the first chapter, of course, there's quite a lot of names of great warriors. So, what did you show the story? The Jam
是。
很多名字，很多人的名字，复杂，他们的名字也没有很深的意思。
是。
所以你可以跟鼓励他们从第2章开始。
Guru，还有一个细节就是，当我看书的时候，我有一个思维，就是如果我认为对方对灵魂的课题感兴趣，我会建议他直接看就是第2章和第4章。如果他对业报感兴趣，我会建议他看第3章和第5章。如果他是对物质自然三属性造成的这样的不同的人的气息和品质感兴趣，我会建议他看第14章。也就是说，我根据感觉他的需要，让他跳到那一章，就这样的建议恰当吗？因为我在想，如果他因为读这样的书，他找到感觉、有兴趣，他最终会从第1章开始。我就是这样，我最早拿到国家梵歌的时候，我就觉得第1章跟我没有关系。但是当我后来看另外的地方有感觉，我就自动愿意回到第1章开始重新阅读。所以我就用了这样的方法，可以哈？好，谢谢你。
This message is saying that somebody is interested in the soul, so she will tell them they should read the 2nd and the 4th chapter. And somebody is interested in karma, then they can read the 3rd chapter and the 5th chapter. And somebody is interested more in the universal form, seeing everything, the relation to the universe. So, the 11th chapter, 10th chapter, the chapter Sloki, Bhagavad Gita. But according to the person's interest, it directs them to a particular part of the Bhagavad Gita. But for some people, they can just go straight through the book and can begin from the 1st chapter. So she's saying you have to consider what the person is looking for, to try to encourage them what sections of the Bhagavad Gita to read.
Thank you, Guru.
Yeah, when we distribute books, we're introducing the Bhagavad Gita to people. We have to think like that. But what is the need? What are they looking for?
This is a Guru Maharaj. Guru Maharaj, we are encouraging everyone to go and preach and speak about Krishna to the public, Guru Maharaj. At times, new devotees, they go and speak wrong things to the public, Guru Maharaj, which creates a negative implication towards our movement and society. So how shall we deal with that, Guru Maharaj? I have some personal experience, Guru Maharaj. Some people give negative comments about our preachers and other things. How we can deal with that, Guru Maharaj? Please enlighten us.
Well, we have to train the preachers. It may be that they're teaching something wrong, I don't know. We have to consider what is being taught. We can't always please everyone. We can't expect to please everyone, but if we please Guru and Krishna, that's the main thing. You will always find some people complaining, people not happy, oh, this is not right, you didn't do this right, But we have to see what are they doing. We don't just want to find fault all the time with people. We want to see the good side of what they're doing also. Some things may be wrong, but we try. The devotees trying He's trying to do something, and we should appreciate that fact, that they're sacrificing their time, their energy to try to distribute Krishna consciousness. So we should appreciate that, not just find fault. Prabhu Shua, 我们故意奉献着到外面传教，可是有的人抱怨，他们觉得我们的奉献者不好，我们也讲得不好，我们没有给他们好的影响，我们讲错误，我们的解释不好，他们不相信我们的解释。所以我告诉他，我们没办法帮助所有的人，肯定有一些人不满意，于是奉献者他们为了别人的好处，他们愿意去传教。虽然他们不满意，可是他们这个人他是奉献者，他愿意去到外面见不认识的人，给他们接受 Krishna consciousness、Krishna 知觉。所以我们应该是看他们的优点，不能看每个人的缺点。我们应该看自己的缺点，看别的人的优点。所以奉献者的优点是他们想帮助别的人。他们想拍书，给他们看书，给他们书看。肯定有一些人不满意，他们的抱怨说Hare Krishna奉献是不好。我们没办法满足所有人，我们只想服务 Guru Krishna， 那是最重要的。Yes. Another question, Mataji?
It's a general question, Maharaj. We see that devotees, when we start the movement, they are very enthusiastic doing chanting, service, hearing, everything. But over time, the enthusiasm gets lesser. So how can we stay enthusiastic all the time?
Yes. How to stay enthusiastic all the time. Yes, you're right, Mataji, this is a problem. Sometimes in the beginning, the devotees are very enthusiastic, but the enthusiasm can go down. So it's important to have enthusiastic association. To keep devotees enthused, you have to enthusiastic people. You need to get association with people who are enthusiastic, who are eager to serve Krishna, who are very energetic and devotees. So enthusiasm comes by just being enthusiastic. Why do people stop being enthusiastic? In the beginning they're enthusiastic. And why does it go down? Well, one devotee, he explained, he said, in the beginning, when we first come to Krishna consciousness, we think all the devotees are pure devotees. You know, we have a very high opinion of devotees in the beginning. But somehow, after some time, when we get to know people more, then sometimes our opinion goes down, and we start to see faults, and we start to criticize devotees. In the beginning, we're seeing all the devotees as being very great souls, and we're respecting them, and so we're very enthusiastic. But gradually, we start to see things we don't like, and we start to find fault with them. And when we start to find fault, then our enthusiasm goes down. So that's one possible reason why people lose their enthusiasm. So we have to try to avoid that tendency. We have to keep a positive mood and always look on the good side of others and be critical of ourselves and don't be critical of other devotees. So that will help to keep us always enthusiastic. You understand? Mataji 说，经常我们奉献者开始很热情的做奉献服务，因为我们是真的奉献者，我们听话，我们很热情的去做服务，于是外围我们的慢慢的找我们比较。我们的热情没有啊，我们看了很多不好的事情，我们批评奉献者，所以我告诉他，很经常，我们真的奉献者的时候，我们看得起奉献者。过一会儿，我们开始，我们看很多不好的配者，我们看不起他们，所以我们开始批评他们。所以，既然我们没有那么做热情的服务，所以我们应该看自己的缺点，看别的人的优点。我们应该看很热情的奉献者联谊，这样我们可以维系很热情的态度。That we want to always be enthusiastic. It's a very important quality. In the Nectar of Instruction, Rupa Goswami describes 6 things which are very good for our devotional service to progress. And the first thing is enthusiasm, utsahan, enthusiasm, very important. Very important. You want to have that quality. You want to keep your enthusiasm. So, try to make a habit to be critical of our own self and don't be critical of other devotees. And that will help us to keep up our enthusiasm. We want to see the good in others and see the faults in ourselves.
我想请问一个问题。刚才石勒姑在讲到你读了加雅，就是知道他的学生将来会，就是我想问一下，姑在讲到婆罗门的一些优秀品质，乐于助人、诚实像多拉加亚知道自己的学生将来要会杀死自己，他还是依然教他各种知识、武术。我们中国的有个谚语叫“农夫和”，那有个故事叫“农夫和蛇”的故事。这个农夫呢，看到那个蛇冻僵了，很痛苦，他好心把那个蛇让它放到怀里，让它软过来。结果蛇缓过来之后，反而把这个农夫给咬死了。所以说，像多纳恰亚他们那是超然的他知道这个孩子会杀死自己，但是依然教他一些知识。但是我们的教育当中，从小就告诉学生们这个农夫和蛇的那个故事，就是说一些坏人呢，没必要同情他们，就是你对他好，等他强壮了有力的时候，才会反咬你一口，或者是他不会感恩了，但是像白眼狼一样的会 害你。所以说，如果都那么诚实，都那么超然，这样的话，会不会起到还不好的作用？就是说，如果一个婆罗门愿意用自己这些好的品质，结果最后起的作用还反而不好，结果还不好。不知道我说清楚没有？就说这两种是反的。中那加雅那也是超然的品质，但是这个我们现实生活当中，如果奉献者们都用这个诚实的这种品质去对待任何的一些事情的话，有时候就会发生这种农夫和蛇的这个故事。我不知道各位听到过没有？就是那个蛇，你把它救活了，它会反咬你一口，把你咬死你。
Prabhu was saying there's a Chinese story about some man who took care of a snake, and he was taking care of the snake. The snake had some problem, and he took care of the snake. But when the snake got better, then the snake bit him, and the man died. So he's saying that sometimes, Brahminical qualities can be like that you can do harm to, you can try to help people and they can come back at you and just give you trouble, do harm to you. But a devotee will always accept whatever situation comes upon him. He will accept it as karma. He will accept it as reactions due to his past deeds. And he will go on with his devotional service. So the devotee, Brahmana, one of the qualities is tolerant. And how tolerant you have to be? Tolerant like a tree. So even though somebody may do harm to you, you have to tolerate it. You just accept it. This is some reaction due to my past deeds. But it's my duty to act as a Brahmana, to try to help, to do good. Even though the person cannot appreciate, but still we should try. We should do our duty as a Brahmana. And 就这样也教我们一个人比一棵树还有宽容。So, 无论发生什么事情，我们不能放弃我们的品质。有一个故事，有一个 scorpion 怎么说 ？scorpion 你知道？它用它的网。蝎子，一个蝎子在水里面。让一个人看这个蝎子快死了，所以他用他的手把蝎子出来，就是把那个蝎子出来的时候，蝎子咬他，他被咬的时候，这个蝎子掉下来，再进去那个水，所以那个人说，他再出来把那个蝎子出来，这个蝎子再咬他，再掉进去这个水。那个人把那个蝎子摘下来，他的朋友说：“为什么你做这样？那个蝎子一直咬你啊！”所以那个人说：“那个蝎子不放弃它的本性，为什么我需要放弃我的本性？” Right? I'm telling them the story about a man saved the scorpion. The scorpion fell in the water. And the man picked it up out of the water, but when he picked it up out of the water, the scorpion bit him. So it fell back in the water. So he picked it up again from the water. But again the scorpion bit him. And so it fell back in the water. He went to pick it up again. His friend said, "No, why you do that? It's always going to bite you." But his friend said, "No, the scorpion did not give up his nature. Why should I give up my nature?" My nature is to see this, right? So, this is the idea. That even though somebody may do bad to you, but it's okay. We should tolerate. We have to accept whatever comes, reactions to our past sins. We will go on with our devotional life. Tatte nukampam susamikshmana ujjana evatma kritam. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, Lord Brahma's prayer, one who accepts all adverse conditions and goes on with the devotional service, then he's qualified to become my unalloyed devotee. So devotee will, if you read about 11th canto Srimad Bhagavatam, the Brahmana from Avanti Desh. Did you ever read that? Canto 11? The Brahmana from Avanti Desh. He got insulted in so many ways. You know, he used to be a businessman and he was rich, but then he lost all of his money. So he became a monk and he went to beg. And he went to beg from people and they knew him. They said, oh, we remember you. We remember you're a miserly person. You're a nasty man. You never give any charity. And they would spit on him. And they would do horrible things to him. But he would tolerate. He fixed himself on the super soul. Tatte kampam kushamit jamana panjana evatma kritam repakam. He would just remember the Lord in the heart. And in this way he went on, tolerating everything. So that should be the mood of a devotee, that they will tolerate all the difficulties, whatever comes, and they won't have any bitterness to others. Even though you're trying your best to help them, and they just do all nasty things to you, just accept it. It's the grace of Krishna. This must be reactions due to our past sins that we go on and tolerate. Okay? Okay, Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.
Bhagavad Gita